Good morning, art students. This is the Crazy Art Lady, Jeannie King, and it's really nice to have you back today. Now, remember, at the end of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get started, because today we're going to be talking about movement lines in art. Movement, all of us can remember drawing pictures of our families when we were in elementary school, and usually what we ended up with was a bunch of people lined up looking straight at the camera with their hands behind their back. There was no movement, there's no tension in it. So what we want to do is we want to create movement lines in art. So we're going to start with some cartoons. Try to get in that body language. Like you can see with Donald Duck, his fists are clenched and his brow is furrowed. His whole body position shows that he is furious. So this is going to be a two-part lesson. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be identifying the movement lines in this piece. And so what we're going to do is we're going to identify the stick figure, basically. We're going to be drawing it like a stick figure, and the stick figure, it will show the movement. That will show this sense of ease and movement in this body first, and then we're going to work with the basic shapes. You remember the sphere and the cone and the cylinder, so we're going to be using those today. You're going to try to flesh out one of these characters. Now, what you'll see is this one here. This comes from a really great book by Usborne. Let's see if I can find it for you over here. Okay, Usborne Art Ideas, Drawing Cartoons. So if you're a cartoonist and you want to be an animator, or you just want to learn how to draw cartoons better, this is the book for you to start with. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing that I want to do is you look at Donald, and Donald's looking really furious. He looks like he's going to beat somebody up. So let's go ahead and take a look at him, and what we've got first is we've got this line coming down here, okay? That line is going to identify that he's leaning forward. This line for the neck is that he is kind of in somebody's face here, okay? If I take my pen or pencil and I angle it, I can see that the bill is going to be at an angle, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. His arm, on the other hand, is going to be rounded like this, and this one's going to be rounded, and then this part here is going to be bunched up into a fist here. Okay, so you can see his hands bunched. Now I do want to get those legs in here. So the legs are going to be coming from the body like this, straight, not straight down, but angled down. It's going to be a rounded angle. This one's going to be rounded here, and then this foot is coming out like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to do here. Now we're going to add some of the basic shapes. The head, it's going to be a round circle. Then we're going to be turning that into the sphere. If we were adding shading, what we would be doing is to be shading that just like the sphere. Here, I've probably got an oval or a sphere up here. And here, I'm going to go ahead and make this almost, don't want to say a cone, okay, but we want to flesh this out a little bit. Get it kind of rounded. Now, the eraser is going to be your best friend on this one, okay? You want to make sure that you're using your eraser a lot. So you go with really, really light lines, please, okay? You want to barely touch your pencil to the paper so that erasing is made easy, okay? Over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this arm here and bunch it up. And you can see that I could go ahead and erase this part, and I can start working on one. Can start working on fleshing out the arm and the fist, okay? So here, same thing. I want to go ahead and start fleshing out the fist a little bit. Erase those lines I don't need. Come like this. Let's get him a nice fat body. It's really funny because when you look in books of Disney characters, Donald Duck is probably the one who's changed the most. He was a skinny little duck, looked almost like a goose in the beginning in the 1930s, and they decided to kind of cute him up a little bit, okay? Now the legs, remember, we're going to follow this roundedness here, and I could go ahead and create these kind of paddle-like feet first. Angle this in, check your angle here. And what you end up with is something that I can probably really easily see fleshing out into turning into the full character, okay? So this would be what I would start with Donald Duck. Remember, you want your movement lines in first, Okay, then you want to round with your basic shapes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. And the next one we're going to do is pretty similar. Actually, it's not similar, okay? The next one we're going to do is the cats. Okay, these cats are sweet. I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. These cats are kind of sweet because if you look at them, they've got some strong movement lines. You can see that this guy is obviously just fallen in love. He's going to be walking off a cliff pretty soon. So let's go ahead and try to get him. Let's see. Let's go ahead and try to get his movement lines down. And then she's leaning forward because obviously somebody's just given her a flower. We're hoping it's him. And she's kind of lost in thought there, so she can't warn him off the cliff. So let me go ahead and pull them over here. There she is, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. The first guy we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find our movement lines for this guy. So from the top of the head, now it's going to be angled. So we're going to come up with almost a backwards C, okay? Not quite, but almost a backwards C, okay? Coming up from here, you can see the angle of the ears. It's going to be up here and here. And then straight across here, I can look at the angle of the head like this, and straight across, I'm going to come like this, okay? Now, the leg, the back leg, is going to be angled also, and the arms are out to the sides, and the tail is angled up in a curve, okay? So that's him, and so what you would do is you would now identify the basic shapes. So for this, you're going to have triangles here, and I'm going really, really lightly. Remember, you don't want to press hard because you want to make your erasing really easy, okay? So now I've got a sphere in here. I'll go ahead and put those, get the looking more like a cat face, like this, okay? And then down here, we're going to come around and around. I could probably identify some ovals in here, okay? Oops. And now what I'm going to do after I've done that is I'm going to go ahead and flesh the character out, okay? You can see that we've got a big oval here, okay? And I'm going to start adding some lines to create this character a little bit more fleshed out. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can never be sure on cartoons how many fingers they've actually got, so you might want to make sure you're counting. Okay, and you're going to go like this. Now, I'm tracing over this just because I want you to see how I'm identifying these lines. You don't want to trace, okay? In fact, tracing is kind of a no-no, okay? So when we're looking at this, now we can see the movement lines on this guy. Okay, you can see that? So we want to get that movement line, okay? So the next one is the girl. Make sure my camera's picking her up. And on the girl, what we want to do is same thing. First, identify the movement line, okay? So on her movement line, she's going to be coming angled. And so, again, I'm going to use my pencil or pen to try to figure out what the angle is, and then I'll mirror that angle. And then here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, and then the head, again, I want to check the angle here, and I go like this, here, and here. On the flower, we're going to round it. On the hand, we're going to round it. We're going to round the hand, okay, and we're going to make sure that all of that is in there. Now I'll take a look at this. And let's go ahead and take a look at the basic shapes. And the basic shapes on her look kind of like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a big circle here. You want to go ahead and add your kitty cat lines here, kitty cat line here, like this. Bring her chin down just a tad. Add her ears. Okay, add her ears here. Oops, make sure I've got this here. Okay, and then this ear, it's going to come up like this. And don't forget, you are making sure, okay, that you can erase as you go. Okay, she's got these eyes, she's like looking out. Let's put her nose there, okay? And then we're going to start fleshing out the body, fleshing out the body. okay, to get those nice lines, okay? So that is what we're doing with this, and we're creating nice movement lines. And then after that, we take our time and we create a character that we are proud of, okay? So, and has got some movement. And as you'll notice that this is just a quick sketch here right now, but you are going to spend some time with this, and then next time we're going to talk a little bit about drawing on the right side of the brain to try to get this looking almost exactly like the picture. But don't worry about that because we don't want to go too fast, okay? So this was Movement Lines in Art, okay? And I hope you enjoyed yourself. And go ahead and finish one of these characters off so that we can see your work for next time, please. And you can go ahead and take a picture of it. Send it to me. I'd love it. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.